The heart of the Raspberry Pi is the Broadcom BCM2835 system on a chip, which contains a central processing unit and a graphics processing unit. The CPU is the ARM1176 and the GPU is a VideoCore 4 low power mobile multimedia processor. On power up, the VideoCore GPU, not the ARM CPU, is in control. The firmware in the GPU looks at the SD card. It's looking for bootcode.bin, loader.bin and start.elf in the root directory of the first partition of the SD card. The GPU reads and executes bootcode.bin, which then loads loader.bin, which loads start.elf. Start.elf determines how the memory is divided between the CPU and the GPU. The boot sequence applies settings which it finds in config.txt, then it loads the kernel.img file, and then it activates the CPU and allows the kernel image to be loaded. After the kernel.img binary file is copied into memory, the ARM11 is reset so that it runs from the address where this kernel.img image has been loaded to. The kernel is a bridge between the applications and the hardware. It manages system resources so applications can execute. It supports them with hardware abstractions. It is set up in memory space, loading them into software stacks where they run. The kernel executes a init, which determines what gets run at boot time by picking a run level that determines the starting state of the system. When the booting process ends, the file directory structure is in place. Bin contains binaries and utilities needed in single user mode. Boot contains bootcode.bin, loader.bin, the start.elf files, the kernel.img files and other files needed for the boot process. Dev contains essential system files and drivers. Etc. contains system and network configuration files. Home contains the user's profile and files. Lib contains the libraries for the binary files held in the sbin and bin directories. Lost plus found is for file system recovery. Media is for mounting things like CD-ROM, USB, e.g. stuff that is removable media. Opt is used for placing optional software packages. Proc doesn't really exist, it's a virtual file system. In there you can study details of your Linux system's kernel processes, configuration parameters. Root is where the directory structure starts. Run allows applications to store the data they need to operate, like process IDs and socket info. SBin contains the essential system binaries and admin files needed to run the system. SC Linux, security enhanced Linux contains stuff that enforces access controls. SRV is a serve folder that holds site-specific data used by things like FTP, www, CVS. Sys is like proc, another virtual directory but for plug-and-play configuration. Temp, TMP holds temporary files that are cleared up at reboot. User, USR, a user-specific sub-hierarchy to the root file system for storing the user stuff rather than the system stuff. var stands for variable, stores files that vary as the system runs, e.g. log files and backups.